Welcome back to Fold in the Cheese. It is your boy K-Troll on the mic today, the day after Halloween, NFL trade deadline. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering Week 8, all the games, recapping, including last night's action, Monday Night Football. But I am joined today, as always, by the Rocky to my Rubble.
Last but not least, this is our mission prep area. Everybody's got their own cubby.
Oh, I want that one.
No, Rubble, don't! That cubby belongs to...
Sky!
Sky.
Oops. It's not important how it looks. It's how it makes you feel. I think you guys are gonna have to cut me out of this thing. Actually, I'm good.
That's right, Paw Patrol. Ethan Gelfand, what's going on, E?
Rocky, he's a stud, man. He gets to wear a baseball hat. He's got the little patch over his eye. I mean, he's just, he recycles. He goes green. So
He does go green. Yeah. He gets to drive the garbage truck. That's kind of the recycling truck. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Rubble.
Sweet.
Rubble's a bulldog. He's a construction guy. He's always got a dozer or something cool. I don't know.
He's always eating. I was kind of jealous you took him because I was like, ooh, I hope I can get Rubble. I get all those pup treats, but it's all right. You took him. It's cool.
You are quite the eater. That's true.
I am.
Do your kids, I know both your kids probably went through a Paw Patrol phase, as mine did. Do they have steadfast favorites? Are they equal opportunity Paw Patrol lovers?
Actually, Addison never got into it. That was never her thing, but Brady did. He was big into Paw Patrol. So he still has a Paw Patrol comforter, but he's like, Dad, I don't like Paw Patrol anymore. There's for babies. I'm like, all right, man. Well, don't just come by comforters every now and then. So you're going to stick with this one for a while.
That's right.
So yeah, he loved it. His guy was Rocky, surprisingly. He loved him some Rocky. At first, I thought it was going to be Rubble because his favorite color was yellow. But no, he always was drawn to Rocky. And I know you guys have a Nintendo Switch. Did you ever play the Paw Patrol video game?
Didn't know there was one.
There was one. And it was actually perfect. Like, that was his first kind of introduction to, like, the Switch. That was, like, the first game he could play, and he was playing it by himself. And it's basically like you run around, you get pup treats, and it's very linear. And, you get to a place, and you have to do a job. It's like, this one's for Chase. And it's just like, there's a bar and you have to line up when you hit the button. And if you get like right in the middle, like perfect.
Oh, really? Okay.
Boom. So like stuff like that. So yes.
It'd be good Tiger Woods golf at some point.
He loved it. He got to beat the robot at the end, and exciting.
That's huge, man. That's huge. I didn't know there was a Paw Patrol game. My kids both went through a bit of a phase. Miles, not as much, but Nora definitely. She also has a comforter. She's collected all of the little stuff, plushies, some of the big plushies. But I agree. She's kind of like, she still loves it, and she still wants all the toys. Doesn't ever watch the show, and that's kind of funny. Like, never really watched the show a whole lot. It was more about the toys than anything else. But they like the movie, and Adam Levine had that jam in the movie.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you what, I was pleasantly surprised by the movie. Great soundtrack. It was like, you know what? This is completely bearable. It can watch it. It's totally fine.
Yep. It's no Lego Batman, but it's good. It's good.
Lego Batman's good. Lego Batman is good.
I might watch Lego Batman this afternoon. How was Halloween?
Actually,
how was Halloween?
I was going to say, so actually last Halloween, so not this one isn't yesterday, but the year before, Brady was actually Marshall. So at one point he went through a Marshall phase, but then he turned to Rocky. The reason why we got Marshall is couldn't find a Rocky costume anywhere. I was like, how's Marshall, man? He goes, yeah, Marshall.
What about Marshall? He's like, love it. All right.
Perfect. No, man, Hollywood was great last night. Halloween was great. So I think, spoiler alert, we did a similar familial theme. We were Star Wars. Star Wars family. So
that's right.
Brady was Grogu, little baby Yoda himself. Addison was Rey. I was Han, and Kirsten was Leia. So I'm pretty sure you guys were pretty similar. Not all the same four, but at least two.
We did the same thing. Did you throw that on the socials? I'm sure your wife did.
My wife did. Sure your wife so maybe we'll have to do a split screen on the Pool Boys website, on the Pool Boys Instagram to just have that.
That's right.
We'll do that.
That's right. We will try that. No, we did the same thing. We were I was Han, Jamie was Leia, and then here you are. Oh yeah, looking good. Look at Rey. Yeah, Addison's a great Rey.
Look at that attitude she's got. She's like,
she's got some dude for sure.
So
It's chilly up there, obviously.
Yes.
It's cold in Grand Rapids. I can
Actually,
see you went with a fleece.
what was crazy, it actually wasn't too bad. This is probably the warmest Halloween we've had here in Michigan, and it's
Yeah.
probably like 55, which is
Oh, that's
totally
not bad.
better. It's just totally good. I was like, I don't have to wear a jacket. The kids don't have to wear like puffy jackets under their costume or anything like that.
Right. We've had to do
So it's
that.
good. Yeah.
No, this
So
is
the
a great
kids,
looking crew.
we always get a costume for the kids, and then Kirsten and I are like, we're not going to buy costumes for ourselves, but we're always very resourceful, and we always make our own costumes. So ironically enough, Kirsten has not seen the Star Wars movies. She
can't sit through
made
all
her
of them.
watch.
There's no way.
Oh no, there's no way. I made her watch A New Hope, actually on May 4th one year, which is fun. But now the kids are watching them, so she's kind of like watching them in the background, like not really paying attention. She'll be scrolling. So anyway, so with Leia, she's like, "What? Well, what does she wear?" I was like, "Well, have you seen Return of the Jedi? She wears that."
Yeah,
That was a no.
There's a nice bikini scene. You should check that out.
That was a no. So I was like, "Well, let's see what you got." And so she went with the Ice Planet Hoth Leia, which she threw together perfectly. You got the hair, the whole outfit, money.
Yeah. We kind of do something similar where we buy the kids like the full costumes, the real deal, and then we try our best to piece together whatever we can. Now, I would have been happy to do that with Han Solo. The problem for me was Jamie was like adamant about finding some kind of holster situation that he's got that leg wraparound holster thing. And so I ended up buying something that was not the exact replica, because like the other problem is you buy these things online. Number one, there's like $60 for one of those things, which I'm not gonna pay for. But number two, it's like it'll get there between October 20th and November 4th. And I'm like, is the thing gonna show up on November 2nd or something? And I'm gonna be like, wow, thanks for nothing.
Well, that's what we were talking about the other episode where I had that Iron Man sweatshirt and I got it in January or February. Like, great. Yes. This was perfect.
It's so true. It's so true. Exactly that. So she did get me some cheapo vest, which was like way too big. I had a shirt. I wore jeans. I did buy some boot spats, which was kind of cool. They're like these, basically pull them up over your jeans. They look like a boot and they cover your shoes. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. So we used Nerf gun blasters.
Oh, nice. So I actually have a hunting vest, which was actually perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, this be any better. It's just like a solid dark green and all that. And then I wore black jeans, but here's the piece de resistance. I ripped some duct tape, big old stripe of duct tape just to go down the leg. I was like, yes.
Dude, I thought you were wearing track pants when I looked at your picture.
Oh no, black jeans.
And number two, I didn't know you had black jeans. That's impressive.
A stripe of duct tape. You see it, you're zooming in. I can tell.
I got your duct tape on here. I see it.
Actually, I pulled it off.
What are you doing with black jeans? Let me just ask you that.
I've had, and they're kind of tight on me. So I think I got them like a long time ago, and I've gotten like fatter, so they're very like. So I don't really wear them that much.
Well, black jeans have to be skinny jeans, I think. So that's probably appropriate.
Yeah.
How often do you bust out black jeans?
Oh, only if it's like on the bottom of the line. I haven't done laundry in like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh crap, I have no pants. Damn,
they're like another pair of sweatpants for you. Yeah, you're like, whatever. I'll wear the black jeans. It's fine.
I guess it's the black jean day. Woof.
Okay. Well, I am today, and kind of switching gears a little bit, maybe still costume-ish. I'm rocking Derrick Henry, the salute to service jersey, because D-Hen is a monster, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. But he is back. The Titans are back, sort of. But he is back.
Yeah, he is back.
He's back.
That is for sure.
Crushing everything. He tied an NFL record this weekend. He set a Titans record this weekend.
Titans record.
Yep. Oof. Kind of a big deal.
Banner weekend for one Derrick Henry.
We're going to keep our phones on us during the episode here because it's trade deadline day in the NFL. So if anything happens, we need to know about it. We need to talk about it. So let's cover some injuries in the NFL first. A couple of those. We'll get to some notable performances. We'll hit the waiver wire, which is pretty slim this week. I got some blind resumes for you. Blind resumes. And then we'll get a do board update. Shall we jump in?
Let's do this thing.
So injury-wise, we didn't cover this on Thursday because the news hadn't fully come out, but the Jamar Chase situation, like He's injured his hip. They're not going to put him on IR, but he's aiming to miss 4 to 6 weeks is what it looks like. I think they're being optimistic, hoping that in the event he could possibly come back earlier, you don't want him to be bound by the IR rules, which mean you have to miss 4 games. So he's not going to be in for a while. We saw what that looked like last night. It wasn't pretty. And you worried about this with the Bengals offense. And I was kind of texting with a buddy. Like it's kind of wild. They have other playmakers. Like T. Higgins is a stud. Tyler Boyd's a great slot receiver.
Playmakers. Like
Joe Mixon,
should not have
a good running back.
Bad.
They are not the same team without Jamar Chase. They just aren't the same team.
I mean, which is true, but I feel like a lot of it last night had to come with the offensive line. I mean, how many times did Joe Burrow get sacked? I was looking at reading some stat. He has the quickest, or like in the top 5 of quickest releases in the NFL, and like how many seconds before he throws it. And it's because he has zero time. He throws it in, I think, 2.4 seconds, because that's literally all he has. Like, okay, gotta go. So I think honestly that's the biggest issue, because there should not be that much of a drop off. Don't get me wrong, Jamar Chase is a generational talent, but you still have tons of other weapons with a T. Higgins and a Tyler Boyd. Like, it should not be that bad to be down. What was it? 23-0 or whatever it was, to not even get on the scoreboard until the third quarter. Like, it's not that bad of an offense without him. Don't get me wrong. He makes it that much better, but it should not be that, especially with the Browns defense, who has, historically in the past few years been pretty good, but this year's kind of been very up and down. So it shouldn't be that bad. I don't know what the heck that was last night.
Well, it was 25-0, and they didn't score until the fourth quarter. They had a streak of like 49 games or 49 quarters in a row, or halves in a row of scoring touchdowns. The Bengals did, which I thought was kind of wild. I mean, that's 25-ish games where they scored a touchdown every half. Halves? Well, it's 25-ish games where in both halves you scored
a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting to at least mention it.
It was interesting. I'm just wondering if that's like good. It's like,
well, I'm sure there are other teams that have there's probably another team that's got a longer streak, or definitely in history there are longer streaks. But it's a couple. It's a couple seasons, a season and a half. But yeah,
that streak is the Lions.
The Lions. They lost that streak last game
a couple weeks ago.
2 games ago when they got 0 touchdowns. I don't know. The Browns did the Brown thing. They ran it down their throat. Nick Chubb did his thing. Brissett made some plays. The defense was awesome. I mean, yeah, I worried about that going into this game. Of course, we had our pick 'em on Thursday. I don't even remember if we knew about the Chase stuff at that point. We probably did, but
no, we didn't.
We worried the Bengals. This is the Bengals team of the first half of the season.
It was bad because I was like, I didn't know about it until Saturday, and I was like, oh crap, when I had to take him out of my lineup.
Yeah, this is the Bengals team from the first half of the year that we were like, who is this team? So I'm worried about them again. I guess I started to get confident in them because they won a couple games pretty convincingly. And now here we are back again. I don't know what it says long term.
I mean, shoot, in the division, they've now lost to the Steelers, they've lost to the Ravens, and they've lost to the Browns. So yikes. If any tiebreakers, they're crap out of luck. I know it's only halfway through the year, but not great.
And honestly, I mean, the Ravens are 5-3. They're on top of the division at 5-3, and the Bengals are 4-4. So it's not like they're out of it. It's not like it's over. No. It's just
not where you want to be right now. Yeah,
not where you want to be right now. Cooper Kupp avoided a devastating injury. I think everyone's holding their breath on this one. Hurt his ankle on like his last catch of the game in garbage time, where people are like, "Why is he still playing?
Why is he still there?
They're getting smoked." He catches a pass, rolls his ankle. Thankfully, it sounds like a low ankle sprain. They actually think he's going to be able to play this week, so I think he'll be fine. But keep an eye on that one. Rashad Bateman's going to miss a couple weeks. Hasn't been like a fantasy star, but he's been battling injuries all season, and he's someone that I was certainly high on going into the season.
Yeah.
And it just opens up targets for someone like Devin Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson. Mark Andrews is also kind of banged up. Like, he had an ankle going into this game, hurt his shoulder in this game. He's got 10 days, of course, to heal, but he could be out. Isaiah Likely filled in for him and did a great job. He's a rookie tight end that people were kind of high on preseason, so keep an eye on that situation too. Bateman's going to be out for a few weeks.
On the Ravens, did you see on their flight home, one of the players went and was just, on his phone and recording people, went to Justin Tucker.
Yeah, I did see that.
And basically
that was awesome.
Mocked Russell Russell Wilson. Just sitting on the plane just for about an hour or so, just watching some game, and then
Lamar was
Ravens
doing high
flock.
knees.
Let's fly.
Ravens flock. Let's fly.
Let's talk to us a little bit, J Tuck.
I mean, what do you want to know? What are we doing on the plane ride back home? I heard Lamar's leading us in high knees. Ravens flock. Let's fly.
Unlimited.
But we gotta play him. We respect him.
Yes.
We like him.
Yes.
All right.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Dude, you got trolled by a kicker.
Right. Granted,
That's
one of
what
the greatest kickers of all time, but still.
Granted, that's true. Speaking of great kickers, I played around of golf right behind Steven Gostkowski last week.
You and just your classic name drops. It's just so funny.
I thought it would be cool for you. I took a picture of him. I didn't recognize him.
Well, yeah, he said, I was like, why is he still in Nashville? He didn't even have a job there anymore. But hey, good for him.
Yeah. The guy who took your bags or whatever was like, that's Steven Gostkowski. And I was like, the kicker? And he's like, yeah. I was like, whoa, sweet.
How did he shoot? Was he any good?
I mean, he crushed it off the tee. I don't know though. I don't know how he played. I didn't. They were like their pace was faster than ours. We were the group behind them, but like they were gone pretty quick.
Got you.
So I couldn't tell you.
Hey, but you were sending me some
screenshots.
You were sending me some screenshots of your scorecard. You were looking pretty good, my man.
I was doing okay. Shot a birdie. Not bad.
Shot a birdie. Hey.
I had a birdie. All right. Other injuries. I mean, we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but like Mark Ingram's got an MCL sprain. As far as like taking vulturing stuff from Alvin Kamara, don't have to worry about that. Irv Smith has a high ankle sprain. He's gonna be out for several weeks. He's actually like a decent tight end fill-in and actually had some promise this year. So again, the shallow tight end pool gets even more shallow. So those guys are gonna miss some time for sure. That's really it though. I mean, there weren't any other big names that got hurt this week. Thankfully, there were a lot of teams on bye, but thankfully we avoided another devastating week in that regard.
True. What do we say we go to something more positive? How about some notable big time performances this week? We do that instead. I'm already down.
Let's do that. We've got more time to cover those.
Yes.
Start us off.
So start off with the quarterbacks, man. I feel like this was kind of the week where offenses blew back up. I mean, I feel like this whole year offense has been way down. And so finally it's like, you know what? Let's put some more points back on the board because that's a lot more fun. So, I mean, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, holy crap. They had 3 touchdowns together in the first half. Tua obviously had to come back against the Lions, but you knew that was going to happen regardless. So he blew up. Kyler Murray, I mean, just give him DeAndre Hopkins and they are good. This is finally the match or the mesh that we wanted to see from them two since he got there. You know, this is his 3rd season there. His first year was pretty good. It wasn't like off the charts. It was solid. And then obviously last year, granted, it was a couple injuries, but they just did not seem in sync. And this is what you want to see. The Kyler to D-Hop, basically 13 targets, both games over 10, 13 targets, and just saying, nope, I'm just going to get you the ball every time. So that was fun. And then Dak finally exploded. I know he hasn't played most of the year, but finally showing, hey, this is not Cooper Rush's job. This is my job. So this is it.
Yeah, Dak looked good. That was good. I've had him stashed on a couple of teams where I drafted him late and thought I was set, and then he got injured, and then he came back and didn't look great. And I was like, oh, man, what am I going to do with quarterback here? I feel a lot better about him now going forward. Granted, when Zeke comes back, he's going to be the guy again, apparently. Tony Pollard blew up, go figure, as he always does when Zeke is out. I'll just get to the running backs here. Dehan, his 4th consecutive 200-plus yard rushing outing against Houston specifically, which is insane. He tied the record with like OJ and like AP or somebody for most 200-plus yard games at like 6. He's tied the record. Okay.
Yeah.
And 4 of them came against Houston, and they're the last 4 games he's played Houston. I mean, that is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I mean,
75
it definitely helps. It definitely helps when your quarterback only throws it 10 times. So the fact that they're just saying, you know, Derek, let's jump on your back. Let's just go. But shoot, when you got him, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And anyone who's concerned about the foot injury lingering and the age and the wear on the tires and all that, nah,
He's good.
What is he?
He's fine.
Is he 28, 29?
Maybe 28, maybe 29. I mean, the first couple of years they didn't use him much because they had
Right.
um
Dion Lewis.
no. They got DeMarco Murray from Dallas for like a year or two, like right when he was peaking. They grabbed him, and so they got Derrick Henry, and he wasn't really run that much. And so,
but also Dion Lewis that year where they're like, oh, let's split this backfield. And then at the second half of the year, it's like, oh nope, Dion sucks.
They never played Dion Lewis. I was excited about that and have like a thunder and lightning, and it never really did anything. But yeah, so they've tried a couple different combinations. Ultimately, it's the D-Hen show. He may only have another year in him, but run him to the ground.
Well, it's so funny when you say like worry about his age, and so granted, you and I both have pretty baby faces. I'm 38, you're 37, and so when I just look at someone like Derrick Henry, like that dude's like 48. Like, no, he's 28. Like, these are just massive individuals who just, I don't know, just looks like they should be older than 28 years old. Like,
yes. Coincidentally, he does have a baby face and looks like he can barely grow facial hair. Like he has like a little stubble on his chin, but that is a hulking man. That is a big, big man. But to your point, yeah, he looks like he should be, I don't know. I guess 28 is more of a peak physical year. When that kid was in college, he was 18, 19 years old, and he still looked like this. That's when you're just like,
well,
I didn't know they made humans like that.
The best was like they show like game footage from his 9th and 10th grade year, and he is just literally a giant among boys. I'm like, how is this legal? Yeah. How is this allowed?
He was like 6'4", and the tallest kid around him was like 5'10" and like 120 pounds trying to tackle him, you know? It was like, yeah. I don't know. Other running backs. Alvin Kamara finally got the 0 TD curse off his back. He scored 3 this week. Number 1 running back. Absolutely blew it out. Had like 10 receptions. I mean, I love having Andy Dalton as the quarterback there because he knows just give the ball to Kamara, pass it to him, hand it to him, whatever you got to do, get him the ball, and it's working, you know?
I mean, that's what we talked about last season and heading into the season. When Jameis is the quarterback, Kamara struggles. Like, he does not get as many touches. He's not as focal point in that offense for whatever reason. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that they're going over a healthy Jameis with Andy Dalton, it says something.
Yeah, for sure. And then McCaffrey with the cycle. We haven't seen this since LT did it in 2005. Threw a touchdown, which was a beautiful pass. Caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. He's sick, man. He's just sick. Just ridiculous.
I think they're saying he was secretly warming up his arm in pre-games. Like they did it like on the side so the Rams wouldn't see it. It's like, no. Just do it cool, man. Be cool. Just pretend like you're messing around.
You're just warming up the quarterback with Christian McCaffrey. It's funny though, because every time a player gets in the game and throws a pass like that, even backup quarterbacks, whenever they're like brought in very suddenly, I'm always like, you got to warm up, man. Like it's not that easy to just get out there and just chuck the ball, especially the older you get, obviously. But like you've got to like loosen your shoulder up, and like for a running back, to your point, like you can't really do that without them noticing, right? So
like, why is he throwing the ball?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to throw the ball, or at least do some arm circles or something. I don't know, something to kind of get you loosened up. But yeah, that's funny. It's funny to hear him doing it. Yeah, look at you. There you go. That's it.
I'm ready. Ready to throw.
So that was pretty awesome. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Give us some wide receivers to put on a show this week.
I mean, DJ Moore, PJ Walker, and DJ Moore. Just okay. So crazy. Did you see the end of that game? Well, the end of regulation. So the Panthers are down by 6, and there's like 10 seconds left or whatever. They're on their own 30, and just DJ Moore or PJ Walker just hucks it to DJ Moore. But what everyone's saying is, it wasn't just a Hail Mary. It wasn't just a toss and pray. This was literally on the dot, on the spot throw that in the air covered 64 yards or something. I mean, Patrick Mahomes tweeted out saying like, that's the best throw he's seen this year. It was an unbelievable throw and catch to end the game. Although in classic this year, Panther fashion. So they tie the game on that 6 points to get the touchdown. So you're like, all right, all I got to do is kick the extra point to win the game. But no, obviously they were very excited on that touchdown. So DJ Moore takes off his helmet. Another teammate comes over, takes off his helmet in celebration. Get the flag for excessive, like unsportsmanlike conduct. Moves the kicker back, misses the extra point. They lose in overtime. Classic. So anyway,
it was classic, and exactly what you said. Like it was not a Hail Mary. It was just he burned the coverage and like the safety. Like, what are you doing? How do you let him get behind you?
How do you let him get behind you?
I mean, I guess you didn't realize. And DJ started to slow up a little bit, and then he saw the ball in the air, and he's like, "Oh, he chucked it." He's like, "You better go get it." I mean, it was a bomb. It was a bomb. That was awesome. But Pinheiro, the kicker, so he misses the PAT, which is like a 48-yard PAT at that point, which sucks. They get into overtime, and then he misses a 33-yard field goal, which is the actual PAT distance, the normal PAT distance. It's like they actually moved down the field in overtime and should have won then too. He missed a close field goal, and then Atlanta came back and won. I mean, it was just devastating, man.
Can we just point out that Atlanta is currently leading that division at 3-4?
Yeah.
Let's point that out. Just saying.
4-4, baby.
Just saying. Wait, 4-4?
So the Bucks are 3-5. They're 4-4.
Oh, they haven't had their bye.
3-5. Yeah. Saints are 3-5. Panthers are 2-6.
2-2. Yeah, that's just wild. That's just wild. So we already talked about AJ Brown, huge day, 3 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, huge. Both Dolphin wide receivers had great days. Tyreek didn't have a touchdown, but he had 10 for like 180 or something. And then Jalen Wall had the touchdown, not as many yards, but still great days by both.
2 touchdowns.
I mean, it's basically showing that they can handle both those loads. Both receivers can get enough fantasy points for everybody. So that's impressive. And then your boy Kyle Pitts showed up. Huh? Your boy.
This is a classic flash in the pan game where you're like, okay, all right, maybe they found something here. They're gonna get back going, and you put him in. He's gonna give me 3 points next week. I have to play him. Higbee has been doing nothing for me, so I have to play Pitts anyway, out of the hope that you might get one of these games. But I'll
trade you Taysom Hill for Kyle Pitts.
I'll think about it. I will think about it.
Like that actually is.
Taysom Hill also will occasionally blow up. His blow-ups are like 30 points as opposed to 15, but whatever.
But it's like 1 out of every 10. So you never know.
Take it.
One more wide receiver. Finally, now that Mac Jones has been solidified as a starter, he was really kind of what I've loved is Jacoby Myers has really taken a big step this season. You know, last year he was very solid, reliable receiver. He finally got his first NFL touchdown last season. And now he's being that more than reliable. He's basically their go-to guy, especially with Devontae Parker getting hurt. Kendrick Bourne's just a no-show. Nelson Aguilar, you can't, rely on him at all. So the fact that Mac Jones is basically like, Jacoby, you're my guy. He had 12 targets. I mean, watch out. That could be, Jacoby Myers is a classic blind resume guy in the sense that he's not a name, but he can get you anywhere from 13 to 20 points just on receptions and yards alone. So he could be someone.
He reminds me of previous years of Brandon Cooks, where you're kind of like, no one's really thinking about him, but he's just putting in work and he's getting 15 PPR points every week. So to your point, when Mac Jones is quarterback, he's just peppering him with targets, and that's a good thing for Jacoby. I still think Bailey Zappi should be the quarterback, but I'm crazy like that. I also think Mike White should be the quarterback for the Jets, so whatever.
He might be. They had to put a vote of confidence into freaking Zach Wilson, so we'll see.
I know. All right, so those are the big performances. I do want to mention as well, I guess, a couple more running backs I skipped over here. Deontay Foreman, 3 touchdowns for the Panthers. He stepped in when Chuba Hubbard was out. I picked him up in a couple of leagues. I'm glad I did because this is what he does, man. Like, he's legit a beast. He really is. If he gets the opportunity. He missed a year with an Achilles issue, and so you weren't sure if he's ever going to make it back. He looked good for the Titans last year when Derrick Henry went down, and he looks really good right now for the Panthers. This could be a real thing going forward. I'm not sure Chuba Hubbard gets more than 30% of the work when he comes back.
It will be interesting because I actually have Chuba because I did that. Let me just drop my salary, get Chuba Hubbard. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward, which I mean, obviously with Chuba out, Deontay saying, no, let me have the job. So it'll be see when he comes back how that workload is going to be split.
Making a pretty strong case. And Ramondre looks like definitely the guy you want in New England. I mean, he is a beast as well, and he's getting all the passing down work. He's getting a lot of receptions.
He's basically he's a juiced up James White kind of.
Yeah, because he runs
out the backfield and he can run. So he's juiced up. But there was a couple year span where James White was a top 10 running back just based on his receptions alone. Like when he was with him and Tom Brady in their prime, like that was crazy that he would literally be averaging 18 to 20 points a game.
Yep. I remember that. And Travis Etienne getting the backfield all to himself. Jamal Agnew, not worried about that at all. Etienne's a beast, man. Nope. He's a stud, and he looks great right now. So as long as he can stay healthy.
Called that guy in my perfect draft. Called him.
Oh, nice. That's true. That's true.
I didn't get him. I didn't get him.
Called Kyle Pitts in my perfect draft, so who's laughing now? All right, let's hit a few waivers here. There's not much going on this week. So there's a bunch of teams on bye, but there's not a lot of good stuff out there in the waiver wire. So again, if you're desperate and you want like a Devin Duvernay dart throw, go for it. Demarcus Robinson, same thing. With Bateman being out, like they got to throw somebody. If Andrews is out, especially, you're probably going to want one of those receivers. If Andrews is out, you're going to want Isaiah Likely too. So I would keep an eye on that situation in Baltimore. Definitely keep an eye on the trade deadline today as well. So this could see a move for Brandon Cooks, could see a move for Cam Akers to a team where you might actually play. Could see Kareem Hunt go to somewhere like LA. There have been talks about that. You could see some guys go places that actually land them real work, and that would be pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. Quarterback-wise, there's some good streaming options this week actually too. So if you want to stream, if you got somebody on bye this week, Andy Dalton's got Baltimore. That could be a bit of a shootout. Justin Fields, don't look now, has put together several pretty solid games in a row here. He's got the rushing floor. He looks pretty good. He's got Miami. That could be a high-scoring game as well. Mariota actually is looking pretty good too with the rushing floor. He's got the Chargers, bit of a tougher matchup, but we know Atlanta has been solid, so why not? And then Heineke. Look out for Heineke. Like I said, gamer, Heineke. He's got Minnesota this week. Shootout. Look out.
Okay, so you and I are not playing against each other this week, so I feel like I can ask you this question and you can give me advice in good faith. So I picked up your boy Russell Wilson last week because I was like, I need a quarterback. I cannot rely on Jared Goff. Give me 1 point. So I benched Goff. I put in Wilson. Wilson was meh. Got me 17 points, which is fine compared to last week where I got 1 point out of my quarterback. So this week, Wilson's on bye, and I have Jared Goff. Do I go with him, or do you think I should go with one of these streaming guys down here?
So Goff's got the Packers this week at home.
Yeah.
So you got a dome. You don't have to worry about weather.
Back. It's completely different with Amon-Ra. DeAndre Swift is clearly back.
Yep.
Or getting back. So
yeah.
What do you think?
I'd probably stick with Goff if I'm in your shoes. Obviously Fields intrigues me, but you know how I feel about him in general. I don't think I would start him over Goff, honestly. So, and I wouldn't start Dalton over Goff either.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that, honestly.
I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Granted, he did get me 1 42-point game, but he's also gotten me a 5 and a 1.5. So
we had a good week against Miami, so that was good this week. He had those 2 duds, but those are 2 stud defenses, you know? You kind of expect that. I think the Packers are a good defense, but not unstoppable. Now, Josh Allen didn't exactly light them up.
I was just going to say they held Josh Allen relatively in check for him.
Yeah,
but I don't know. So okay, I'll stick with Goff. I'll stick with Goff.
It sounds like you're between Goff and Dalton. So
I am.
I mean, think how you're going to feel trotting Andy Dalton out there as your quarterback. I don't know. I mean, truthfully, he's been fine this year. Fantasy wise, you know, he's putting up like 2 picks every game, but he's also getting like 3 touchdowns. So,
but he's also getting like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And I am also trotting out Taysom Hill as my tight end because Pat Frymuth is on bye. My team is rough this week. Listen to my team this week. So I have no Jamar Chase. I have no Saquon Barkley. I have my quarterback will be Jared Goff. I have no Pat Frymuth. So my starting running backs are Dameon Pierce and I'm going double D. Dameon Pierce and Damian Harris. Yep, double Dameon. My receivers are Pittman, Hopkins, and Allen Robinson. And then shoot, who's even my flex? Who's got to be my
Why
flex?
can't I play you this week?
Right? Like seriously, this is the week everyone wants to play me.
Everyone
I'm playing
wants you this
Hazer.
week.
Who is my flex? Here we go. I'm pulling it up right now. Oh yeah, you ready for my flex? Get ready to be astounded. Eno Benjamin.
Eno.
Oh gosh. Yep. I'm projected to get 98 points.
That's awesome.
When last week I got 130, I'm projected to get 98. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd probably roll out Goff if I'm in your shoes. I know there's a chance he gets shut down, but there's also a chance Andy Dalton gets shut down, right? I mean, we know that's possible.
Ugh, gross. Okay. Anyway, sorry, got a little off topic here, but I want to throw that quarterback streaming towards you.
Yeah, love that.
Because that's basically what I'm doing now. Now that Stafford shit the bed and he's not my quarterback, he's not even on my team. So
yeah,
I'm basically just looking at who's best available each week.
Yep. Yeah, I think if Goff can get through this week, I think you're back to being fine using him. You know, I think those 2 weeks were just matchup nightmare for him. You know, so heavy pass rush.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was shorthanded, so I think with all of his weapons back, I think he should be okay.
Honestly, Amon-Ra is the biggest playmaker, the biggest difference maker. So the fact that he was back was big. So yeah,
Khalif Raymond's been playing really well. I don't know what's going on with Josh Reynolds, if he's banged up still or what, but he's a solid number 2 for them if he's playing. But Khalif Raymond's doing really well.
Off the practice squad, as our boy Kyle Seeger was like, they just picked someone off the street, but they cut Kerryon Johnson.
Kerryon Johnson, he was good for 3.7 yards a carry. Okay, as you'll see at the bottom of our screen, I'm ready for you. I've got a segment ready to roll. No, what is it?
Blind resumes.
Yeah.
So
all right, I got 3 of them for you today as well. Are you ready to be in the hot seat?
Yeah, I gave it to you and Jason. Now it's my turn. Yikes. Okay. Let me get my pen and my paper out so I can write down these stats.
You're gonna print your airplane ticket, your airline ticket as well.
What?
Renfro is. You gonna print your airline ticket as well?
Yes, I always have paper tickets.
Paper tickets. Okay, you want running back, receivers, or quarterback first? Who do you want first?
Let's go with running back.
Okay. Running back 1, 114 carries, 558 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Nice.
32 receptions.
Whoa.
217 yards.
Dang, Holmes. Okay.
But no touchdowns.
Oh, not cool.
All
right.
Running back 2, 112 carries, 386 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
37 receptions, 273 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
3 receiving touchdowns. Okay. And I assume this is like still the same stipulations, that same amount of games played?
Same amount of games played. They're within 0.3 points of each other.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I got to go with running back 1 just because they have the same amount of carries, more yards, same just about amount of receptions. I know he has 0 touchdowns, but I feel like those could come if he's clearly getting a lot of good looks. So I'm going to go with A.
Yeah, so you got 4 rushing touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns for the other guy. I tend to agree, like the receiving touchdowns for running back are a little more fluky to me. I want those goal line carries for rushing touchdowns. The yardage is pretty different there, right? Rushing wise. So running back 1 is Ramondre Stevenson.
I was going to say, but I thought I was going to say Ramondre, but I thought he had a receiving touchdown last week. Not this current weekend, the previous one, but I guess I was wrong. I thought that was going to be Ramondre.
Yeah, that's Ramondre. He was drafted 83rd in our league, which was right at the end of the 6th round. I think right at the beginning of 7th, maybe.
Can I guess? I'm going to guess who the second running back is. Can I guess? Am I allowed?
Yeah, go
for it. Is that Leonard Fournette?
That is Leonard Fournette. Drafted 18th overall.
Yeah.
They have the same amount of points.
That's crazy.
Yep. He is he cannot get yardage on the ground, man. I don't know what's going on. Again, we don't know what's going on with the Bucks. The Bucks are an easy team to pick on for blind resume because they are underperforming like crazy.
Everyone's down. Yeah.
But it's at least encouraging. He's got the receiving touchdowns. His touchdowns are still there. He's still a top, 15, 20 guy. Just not what you drafted exactly.
I hope not so this week because I play against him. So boo you. I'm glad I didn't pick him, jerk.
Okay. All right, good. So you got one of them right. Good guess there.
I should have just said Ramondre, but I thought he had a receiving touchdown. Now I'm mad at myself. I didn't say it.
All right, let's move on to receivers. Okay, so wide receiver 1.
Yes.
62 targets, 37 receptions, 473 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
99.3 points for whatever that's worth.
Totally worth it.
Wide receiver 2, 62 targets, 42 receptions, 390 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Wide receiver 2 also has 106 rushing yards.
Whoa.
But 101.6 points. So 2 more fantasy points.
Can I ask how many games? 6 or 7? Never mind. Doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
I'm going to go with wide receiver 1. Just because I like the passing yardage. He seems... Yeah, I know the
8 games for both. Haven't had to buy.
Oh, they're 8 games. Interesting. That changes my guess as to who wide receiver B was. I'm going to go they.
Okay. Wide receiver A is DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Who was drafted, we thought, kind of lower than he should have been, but had the Geno discount. Yeah. He was a 5th rounder, 11th pick in the 5th round for us, which puts him around 59 for us.
So before I learned it was 8 games, I was honestly going to say that wide receiver B was Deebo Samuel.
But that would have been a really close guess. I almost did Deebo because of similar stat types. Wide receiver B is actually Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel. I got a Samuel. Can I get half a point?
They get Samuel. I was going to do Deebo and Curtis, but Deebo missed this week with injury.
Right. So that's what threw me.
They're actually neck and neck as well, but this one less game for Deebo.
So that's what threw me off. I was like, can I know how many games? Because if he was at 7 games, I'm like, it's Deebo. It's Deebo.
Yep.
But no.
Yep. 8 games apiece.
Yeah, that's Curtis Samuel. I took DK over Curtis Samuel.
I mean, they're both top 25 guys right now.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel had a dip in a couple of games, and he came back this week, and he had a solid week, like a 12 to 15 point type of a game. DK's been kind of the same. We're like, DK's had a couple of blow up games and a couple of disappearing games.
Well, his knee literally disappeared in one of them too, so that was it.
I
can't believe he played, and he had to poop one time. That's still the best emergency carding off for an emergency poop.
Yeah. So DK was drafted 59. Curtis Samuel, of course, not drafted in our league.
Not drafted. I'll still take DK. I'll take it all day. All day. Okay. Quarterbacks.
Ready? Here we go. Quarterback 1, 2,267 passing yards. 2,267 passing yards. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's it.
Okay.
This is a pocket passer. Quarterback 2, 1,432 yards passing.
Whoa.
10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 280 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns.
I'm going to take a stab at both of them.
Okay.
Right off the bat. Is quarterback 1 Tom Brady?
Quarterback 1 is Tom Brady.
Is quarterback 2 Daniel Jones?
Quarterback 2 is not Daniel Jones.
Damn. Okay.
Probably more passing yards for Daniel Jones.
Okay. Can I take one more guess at quarterback 2?
Well, fine. Whatever.
I think it's Mariota.
It is Mariota. Mariota has 5 more fantasy points than Brady. 4.5.
Wow. He's got 5 more points. So, Granted, I mean, I had made up in my mind already who I was taking prior to my guessing. I was going to take A just because I'm not
you always go with the pocket passers.
I'm not a big scramble quarterback guy. I'm just not.
Yeah. You're going to
so
be
I would've gone-
extinct in fantasy community because that is the future of the NFL. That is the present
really
and
is.
the future of the NFL.
It really, I mean, yeah,
You're gonna be the last
it
guy
would be.
still drafting Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins whenever it's like
'Cause
they're like
till they're
37. You're gonna be like, is Matt Ryan still around?
50. Is he still on someone's bench?
Yeah.
I'll
So
take care.
so Brady was drafted 92, which was discounted, I think, this year because there was some concern about what's this team going to look like, and of course Godwin wasn't going to start the year.
Right.
Mariota was undrafted in every league that I was in except for this one that we were in together because my brother was being stupid and drafted him 139th. So
Of course, sounds fair
because he used to be a Titan, you know.
Sounds
But there was no
on
reason for him to
par
get
with
drafted. He didn't get drafted in any other league that I'm in.
No, nor would anyone have ever drafted him besides your brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's got more points than Brady right now.
That's crazy. And they play the same amount of games, so wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well done, man. I like those. Those are good.
Blind resumes.
Blind resumes.
So there you go. How about that for Need Your Streamer this week?
Yeah.
Marcus
I mean,
Mariota.
I thought about it when I picked up Russell Wilson. I almost picked up Mariota. Oh, I couldn't have, but I thought, I was like, where's Mariota?
He's available in our league, by the way. He's currently
he is.
QB9.
Okay, yeah, that's why I thought he was available. So I did almost pick him up. I was like, you know what? Russell Wilson cannot be this bad. Well, I guess he is. He might be.
He's QB9. Mariota, QB9 currently.
It's wild. I mean, that's the thing. He's been consistent in the sense he'll get you like 17 to 19 points. He's not going to get you 35 one week, but he'll get you. You know what you're going to get.
He had 17 to 19 points in his 4 of his first 5 games. 17 to 19 points, literally. Then he went 28, 14, 29.
See?
Couple of blow-ups. Look out.
Couple
they're playing in Atlanta. They're playing the Chargers. I don't know. You poo-pooed getting him for your streamer this week.
I didn't poo-poo it. He was one of my thoughts. But you said to trust in Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, I think Goff will be fine, but you were like Dalton or Goff. You weren't in on Mariota.
He was my Dalton was 1A and Mariota was like 1C.
And 1B was just don't play a quarterback.
Yeah, it's like just say QB 0. It's fine.
QB 0.
Don't want to get those negative points. Okay, so let's say random complete thought. You're in a matchup. Going into Monday night, you are up by like 5 points.
Yeah.
But the other person has no one playing, and you have a player. I don't know. Let's say you're up by 2 points. Yep. He's got no one else, so he's done. You have a quarterback, or let's just say a running back. Will you always play them?
No, not always. I will usually play them. But there have been some cases. So or you have like a receiver who returns kickoffs or something, and you're like, what if they fumble a kickoff? They don't get return yards. Yeah, I have bench players going into that situation. Usually when I'm up like 0.7 points or 1 point or something. Because you do worry about
if it's only if it's 0.7 points, then I get nervous about stat correction.
Stat correction.
Oh no,
yeah,
actually,
but if it's like a sack fumble on the first drop back and he gets injured and fumbles and you're like done, -2, injured, not coming back in. I feel like I've had that happen. I swear I might have had that happen. Who knows?
So if it's under a point, you will bench him. If it's not, you'll play him.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it depends on who the guy is too. Like if it's somebody that you can trust is going to be like, there's no way he's going to get you. Like Joe Burrow is not going to get you negative points. He may have a bad game. You're not going to get negative from him. Right. I'm going to play him.
The only
points will matter in standings, you know.
I was just going to say the points do for the tiebreak, because if you're both tied for 6th, they take the person who has the more points scored over the season. So,
yep.
Anyway,
do you remember a couple years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year. I forget. But our friend Towel had Eric Ebron going, and he was like, I think he needed like 1 point from Eric Ebron to win his matchup. And he was like pretty much a lock. And Ebron was on the Steelers. He's pretty much a lock to make it. And it was like going to go to the championship game. He was pretty much a lock to win it. and Ebron like caught like a 6-yard pass and fumbled it or something, fumbled and got injured. And it was like he's done for the game, minus 0.4. And he was like, no.
Yes. Well, I mean, so I talk about sack correction. I've told this story a couple times, but it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm playing your brother, and he had Drew Brees, and it was like a Monday night game. I'm up by like 30 points, and all he has is Drew Brees. And that's the game where he threw for 7 touchdowns, or I'm up by like 40, and he threw for 7 touchdowns. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I end up losing by 1 point. The next day, they stack corrected what they called a fumble was actually an interception for Breeze. So then he got 2 points taken away from him to let me go in and win by 1 point.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yes.
That's
I
wild.
just remember being so pissed off. I lose because Drew Brees throws 7 touchdowns. And then next day, yes.
An interception. That is wild.
It became an interception.
Yeah, wild that you had to sweat it out that much for a 40-point lead, but also wild to win on the stat correction. That's the way to go down right there.
Yeah, true. But all right, blind resumes in the books. Like it.
In the books.
All right. What do you think? Should we do a little do it bet board update? Should we do that?
We should do it. Yeah, we should do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do
All
it.
right. So here we go. So Lawrence, not a great week this past week. He was pretty woof. Pretty much held in check in London. Didn't have too much great success against Denver. So he only got you 8.8 points to bring you to a season total of 147.5.
Yep.
Jared Goff rebounded. Yep. It was a tough matchup. Jared Goff rebounded, got 21.6 points against those Dolphins, was looking really good in the first half, then really kind of tapered off, but still got 21 points. So brings his total to basically 143. So it's neck and neck. The only thing that Jared Goff has is that he's already had 3 bye weeks, whereas Trevor Lawrence has had 0. So
that's true.
That is the one bad thing for Lawrence going ahead, is that he still has to have his bye week. But
yeah,
that's
like a partial.
Literally anybody's.
Yeah, like a partial.
That's literally anybody's game. So that's
partial.
Cool.
He might have had like a bye half.
By half. Running back room, it's continuing to be ugly. AJ Dillon, man, just not being involved. I mean, the Packers are just down. Only got you 7 points for a total of 64 on the season. Josh Jacobs, I mean, the Raiders were god awful this past week, getting shut out.
What I tell you? I bet they were partying Halloween.
They were partying, but he still got 7.4 points. So he still increased his lead by 0.1. So he has 143.8 on the year to 64. So that's.
Do you think let me ask you, do you think if he got injured right now and didn't play for the rest of the season, that AJ Dillon could catch him?
So he's.
Do you think AJ will have 80 points over the last? I was going to say games?
he's up by more than AJ has scored already.
Yes,
it would be close.
Yeah.
It would be very close. I mean, you figure AJ is gonna get a couple in the 10 to 15 range. He'll stumble in for a touchdown or something. So I think he would.
I keep thinking they have no one to pass to. They need to put both running backs out there and just throw to them. Both sides, just dump it off. Let them go. Because you get these guys out in space. Aaron Jones is a great running back. He's got great moves. And AJ Dillon is a monster. And you get him in space and get him some speed built up. I just don't understand. And obviously, I don't know as much as the offensive minds in the NFL, but it just seems like that would be the strategy.
You would think, and here we are in our armchairs.
Here we are.
But it happens. All right, then moving down to the wide receiver room, kind of a role reversal here as T. Higgins has a commanding lead. He got that late touchdown, and last night I was like, damn it, because he was being held in check. He's probably going to get about 3 points, and then boom, 10 points in one swing. So he got you 13.9 to increase his lead to 103.4 for his season total. And Al Robinson had an okay game. Actually, that's probably good for him. That's his 3rd best output of the season. He got me 10 points, bring his total to 56. So
that's two games in a row though where he's in double digits. I don't like the trend.
Watch out. But hey, once again, he's had his bye week. Oh,
Higgins had to miss for injury 1 week, but has not had a bye.
I was going to say the sad thing is Higgins already missed 1 game because of injury, and he still got that lead. So there is the Do It Bet Board update, my friend. There it is in all its glory.
Anybody's
So-
game. What happened last week in our do it bet? We had a crappy quarterback draft.
Crappy quarterback draft, the big name quarterback, crappy one. So it was
True.
Did a snake draft. We were just going to draft 2 quarterbacks each. Did we preset that it was going to be those 4, or did we just say? I think we preset those.
We
4.
preset those 4.
So it's Brady, Stafford, Wilson, and Rodgers. And so we did the wheel of names. I got the first overall pick, which means I would get first and fourth. Kemper gets 2 and 3rd. So I took Tom Brady, number 1, and Kemper got Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford. Then I finished up with Aaron Rodgers. So between the quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Matt Stafford got a combined 36.26 points for. Wow. That's like one Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
One Josh Allen game. That's only slightly more than Marcus Mariota had this week.
And then so they got you 36.26. You think you top me with my 2 guys?
I don't think so. I don't feel good about it.
I don't think so. Well, I'll tell you this. It was close because Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady got 39.32 points. So it was literally 3 points off.
Yikes.
So they have all continued the trend of sucking. And here we are.
Do you have the individual scores on these guys?
Yes. Tom Brady was 20.1. Aaron Rodgers was 19.2. Russell Wilson was 16.7. And Matt Stafford was 19.4.
So I think no matter what, if I'd have traded Wilson for Rodgers, I guess I would have won.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I'd have gone Stafford,
it would have been very close.
Won. It'd been very close, but yeah.
Here, it would have been like a 0.3 differential or something.
That's funny.
So yes.
Whoa! I just clicked on my team on Yahoo and I won my matchup. And there's a bunch of Arby's logos just flying down the screen.
Just rains down.
What?
Yep.
I haven't seen that this year because I've only won 2 games.
I haven't seen it. It's all right. You're on the upward trend, my friend. Upward trend.
I am. I'm not in the no longer in the basement. Working my way back.
Moved up. Moving on up.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, week 8 officially in the books. Week 9 is going to be rough for me fantasy wise. I got tons of bye weeks. I'm starting Eno Benjamin and Jared Goff. That's all that needs to be said. And Taysom Hill's my quarterback. Double Damian's. Woof. So Hazer, you're welcome. This is a gift of a week to you. But anyway, until next time, keep on folding.
Fold it.
Freaking Hazer. I'm going to lose a freaking Hazer.